Hello students, I hope you're having good time at home, and in this video I will be discussing about important characters from the lesson The Fun They Had. So just to recall, this chapter has many characters, but the main characters are Margie, Tommy and the county inspector. So let's look into details of these characters. So let's start with the character sketch of Margie. Margie in the lesson is an 11-year-old girl, and she also made a diary entry on 17th of May 2157th year that Tommy found a real book. She was very much surprised to see a real book in which words did not move and stayed at one place, as she was always going through the telebooks on her computer screens and she had no clues what real books are all about. She also asked many questions from Tommy about the schools of the past, and she remembered that her grandfather once talked about his grandfather who went to an actual school where children went for education and they were taught by human teachers, and she was very much surprised on this thing as well. She always hated her school, that means the virtual classroom, because she was very much bored of her mechanical teacher. She always used to study from home and she had a permanent mechanical geography teacher who was not passing her. So finally, she called up the county inspector, who lowered the level of geography to that of a 10-year-old girl and solved her problem. But in the end, she was not happy the way she was studying at home. Now let's talk about Tommy. Tommy was a 13-year-old boy. He once found a real book in the attic, and by attic I mean the topmost room in the house. He believed that the real book was a waste, and once it is read, it is useless. He was 2 years elder than Margie and had more knowledge about the schools of the past. He answered all questions asked by Margie, and like Margie, he also used to study at home, and he had a permanent mechanical history teacher who once went blank for a month. Now let's talk about the third most important character, who's the county inspector. He was basically a round little man with a red face and had a whole box of tools, dials and wires. He smiled at Margie and gave her an apple. He even smiled on Margie again when he was finished fixing up the issue with the mechanical teacher, and then he patted on Margie's head. When the mechanical teacher developed some fault, it was always fixed by this county inspector. He even identified that the geography sector was geared up a little bit, and he fixes up the issue within an hour by lowering up the level suitable for a 10-year-old child. So now let me give you some more details about the virtual classroom. The virtual classroom was at home right next to the bedroom of these children, as they used to study from home. The study hours were fixed and they used to study from Monday to Friday at regular fixed hours. The mechanical teacher was always on during the study hours, and the teacher also had a slot in which the homework or test was to be submitted regularly. The computer mechanical teacher was programmed and adjusted according to the age of each child, and both Tommy and Margie usually read telebooks on a big computer screen in which the text moved on its own from left to right, and they had millions of telebooks in the computer. By looking at the picture on the screen, you can have a wonderful idea about how the virtual classroom looked like and how Tommy and Margie used to study from home. So this was all from my side. I hope you are able to understand more about these interesting characters and understood the lesson in detail. Please feel free to comment or ask me any questions. Thanks for watching the video. Have a nice day.